Hi, everyone. So like many of you, probably tonight, I'm also doing this with the migraine. So thank you for showing up here, no matter how you're feeling. I'm honored to be with you today. I'm 30 years old now, and I've lived with migraine for over a decade. Like it was just said, for the last 5 years, I've lived with chronic migraine. Most of my time, energy, and effort has been focused on managing my health. I've had incredibly dark days. I know what it feels like when it seems like no treatment is working. After first developing chronic migraine, I didn't know anyone else who lived with the condition, and I felt truly lost and alone. Connecting with and being an active part of the migraine community has been an essential way for me not only to find meaning, but also expand my sources of information about how to live well with migraine and empower myself to be a better advocate in my own life. My advocacy journey started online. After I was first diagnosed, there was no one in my immediate community that I knew who had migraine. It was only after I was hospitalized for a week-long inpatient stay at Jefferson Hospital that I met other migrainers for the first time. And I thought it was like a missing puzzle piece in my healing journey. I was like, connecting with other people is so important. It not only made me feel less alone, but it made me feel like I was on a normal path. And I wanted to be able to learn from other people. And I thought, how can I replicate this in-person experience once I return home? So I turned to Instagram to seek out other migrainers like me. And I found an incredibly vital and supportive community. At first, I just followed along with other people's journeys. I consumed as much migraine-related content as I could, which were both personal stories and educational content. It meant so much to me to see other people, like me out there in the world, struggling with the same things I was. And since then, connecting with migrainers have become a vital source of information about new treatments, techniques, as well as daily inspiration for how to cope and find meaning. I then felt compelled to share my own experience and the chance that would help someone else struggling to feel seen and supported. I felt like if I could just help one other person on a similar path, it would help me find purpose through my pain. My account, Chronically Cheerful, has grown to a community of over 100,000 people navigating difficult wellness journeys looking for support. I've had the opportunity to write about chronic illness and migraine for different websites. I always have the goal of being transparent and honest about how debilitating and painful migraine can be, while offering tools for readers and hopefully validating others' experiences. Sharing some of my story and meeting others has been an essential part in how I find support and purpose through difficult times. I hope that being visible about life with migraine by sharing my story, since it's, as we've talked about, an invisible illness, helps people to feel more empowered and to make an impact on the way the world views this debilitating disease, which is so often undermined and underappreciated in its scope and broad impact. So beyond advocating publicly, a big part of advocacy is how you show up in your own personal life. When I was first diagnosed with chronic migraine, I had a lot of trouble speaking about my lived experience to others in my own sphere. At first, I didn't have the right language to describe my condition. I was reluctant to ask for help and be assertive when describing the full spectrum of my pain with practitioners too. But the more I met with others in the migraine community and practiced sharing my story, the more I felt empowered to speak up in my own life. And it's so important to be your own advocate on a daily basis. Educating yourself about migraine, like at events like this, is one of the best things you can do for your health. And for me, connecting with the wider migraine community and attending events like this one is a great way to do so. Another area where advocacy really matters is advocacy with your physicians. And you can apply the skills of authentically sharing your story. Like instead of simply saying, I had 4 migraine attacks last month, making sure to paint the full picture, like each of those migraine attacks lasted 3 days and you had a non-migraine headache every other day, to make sure you're giving yourself the full opportunity to be treated the way you deserve to be treated. In time, I've learned how to stand up for myself and my migraine-related needs and even educate others. How you talk with people in your circle matters because most people are generally misinformed. I do my best to teach my family and friends about migraine, and education can really help you to feel less alone and empower the people around you to be a better migraine ally. It can be scary at first to talk about migraine, if you think people might misunderstand or judge you, but it can encourage other people to share their stories too. Ever since I started talking to the people in my life about my condition, I started realizing that so many other people suffer from migraine. And the more we talk about it, the more we can help each other and reduce the stigma of invisible illness. That's why connecting with people at events like this is so important. We learn from each other, share ideas, and raise awareness. And when we share our stories, we can help to point the way for others. Advocacy takes so many forms. You can share information on social media, you can educate your family, you can speak up at the doctor's office. Everything you do can make a difference. No matter how you choose to show up, your pain can have a purpose. And remember, your voice and story is unique and powerful. You never know whose life you'll impact by sharing your experience. And when we all work toward managing migraine together, we will get there faster.
Wonderful. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very inspiring.